Have you ever wondered, what is a Sizzix and how can I use it in my crafting? Well, then stick around because I'm going to show you 3 techniques to take your crafting to a whole new level with the Sizzix Big Shot. Your machine's going to come in a box like this. Now, my machine has been used, well used. I just happen to still have the box, but when I bought the machine, it was not brand new, so it was already assembled. So I've taken it apart and I'm going to show you how you would assemble the machine after taking it out of the box. So what's included inside the box? First, you have your Sizzix Big Shot base, your standard platform, your thin die adapter, and 2 clear cutting plates. As you can see, mine are very well used. This is definitely not an unboxing video. Then you have your handle, your Allen wrench, your screw, and your rubber gasket for covering the screw once the handle's been attached. To attach the handle, you're going to grab your handle and you're going to line it up with this square rod. Next, grab your screw and insert that. And then take your Allen wrench and simply tighten that up. Once the screw is all tightened, grab your rubber gasket and cover it over the end where the screw is. And you're ready to go. Now, in order to keep the Allen wrench safe for future use, I have cut a piece of painter's tape and I'm just going to tape it to the bottom of the machine. Now, if I ever need to travel with it, take it to a craft show, all I have to do is take the handle off to prevent it from being broken. The first technique I want to show you today is how to cut a thin die. For this technique, I've selected the envelope liners design from Sizzix. It fits an A7 envelope and it has some intricate openings, which I'm really excited to see on the inside of an envelope. This particular die measures just under 6¼ inches, and I would say that is the absolute maximum width you would be able to cut with the Sizzix Big Shot. I've chosen a sheet of burgundy cardstock from the boho pack from Paper Studio. Now, in order to size my paper correctly, I want to lay the die down on top of the paper to determine what size to cut the paper down to make it fit through the machine. Next, I'm simply going to make a mark on the paper to ensure that it's large enough for the entire die to cut out. And then I'm going to take my paper and then I'm going to line my paper up in my paper cutter, making sure to align the pencil mark with the cutting groove. So once that's lined up, I'm going to hold it in place and just slide up. Set that piece aside, and we have the perfect size for cutting our envelope liner. For the thin dies, you're going to use all 4 pieces that came with your machine. So you're going to first lay down your standard platform, then you're going to put down your thin die adapter. That just gives a little bit more height to the platform in order to allow those thin dies to go through and cut perfectly. Then I'm going to lay down a cutting plate, my paper, and then your die. And I'm placing it well within the cutting area of the paper. And then I'm going to put the last plate on. And to do that, I am going to stand it up like it's a wall and then gently lower it down to prevent shifting of the die. Now I'm going to hold this together like it was a sandwich and I'm going to eat it, but I'm not going to eat this. And I'm going to line it up in the machine and simply crank the handle, putting even firm pressure on it until it pops out the other side. Now let's see how it turned out. Take off the die. Sometimes you're going to have little pieces stuck in the intricate openings that were cut in the paper, and I'll show you in just a moment how to clear those out. And here we have an intricate cut to line the interior of an envelope for your next handmade card. As promised, I did tell you I would come back and tell you how to remove all these like little intricate pieces of paper out of the die, because if you let them sit in there, after you've done a few cuts with the same die, you're not going to get the same results. So you'll want to go through and remove those. To do that, you're going to flip the die over, and there are these convenient little holes, and you're just going to tap them, and you can see all the little pieces dropping out. If you do this process over your trash can, you're not going to have to go back and clean up your workspace. The great thing with using dark colored cardstock is it makes it easier to see those, especially for old eyes like mine. And it's ready to go for our next cut. The second technique I want to show you is embossing. This particular set is from Momenta, which clearly says on the packaging that it can be used with Sizzix, Cuttlebug, and Spellbinders. Embossing folders add texture and dimension to your projects. This particular set comes with both an embossing folder and some clear rubber stamps for creating custom messages in the center of your card. To create the sandwich for an embossing folder, we're going to use our platform. We're going to set aside the thin die adapter. We're going to put down one of the clear cutting plates. Then we're going to grab our embossing folder and load it with our cardstock. And I'm just going to center it through the middle of my cardstock. I'm going to lay it down on the platform and then the clear platform. And I'm going to lay it down and make sure that the fold of my embossing folder is the first thing into the machine. That way it prevents the folder from getting slightly off and cracking in the process of running through the machine. Firm, even pressure, consistent winding, and we have an embossed folder. So simply remove the first clear plate and pull your paper out of the embossing folder. This is what your design will look like. You have plenty of space in here to put your custom message using either a rubber stamp or by freehanding with your favorite pen. And the third technique is 3D embossing folders. This one is from Sizzix and it's the Holiday Sparkle. It's brand new. I haven't used it yet, so I'm anxious to see how this one is going to look. So I'm going to line up my cardstock in the middle. And I like to keep my cardstock long and trim it down after it's made the impression. And for the 3D folders, you do not need anything more than the standard platform and one of the clear acrylic covers. So we're going to lay this down on our platform. We're going to cover it with one of the acrylic covers, and we're going to run it through our machine. And you and I will both see in real time how this works. Firm, even pressure. It's going to feel like you're going to break it, but you're not. And I found that one pass through the machine is generally all it takes. Oh my goodness, that's gorgeous. The raised texture is just amazing. You can even go in and color in the light bulbs in different colors for this string of lights. If I did that, I would probably do it in a white cardstock, but this is going to add so much texture and dimension to your Christmas card. These are 8 of the embossing folders that I already owned. I wanted to give you an idea of what other options are available. I also have some new ones, and I'm going to go ahead and press those, and then I'll be back to show you what the new ones look like. Oh, and Mab says she wants you to know that the geometric flowers is her favorite because it matches her eyes. This one is called Acorns. This one is Holiday Sparkle. And this one is called Snowflakes. So pretty, even on the back side, because this is the side I intended to have facing out. But that's gorgeous too, and you could use it either way. I think my favorite has to be this wood slice, and that one is called Three Rings. It just has great texture, and I cut it out of the wrong color of cardstock, so I wanted to see it both in the light and the brown, and I just really love the way that looks. If you have a sticker on the back of your paper, you'll want to remove that before running it through the machine. This particular one was done on the back side, and it didn't affect the way it ran through the machine, but if it's on the front, you're definitely going to want to have to remove that. So just out of curiosity, I want to see whether or not I can remove this sticker and salvage the entire piece of cardstock. It's leaving a little bit of pieces, but if you're willing to go in and pick them out with a tweezer or a weeding tool, you can definitely recover your piece of paper. And there you have it, folks. You're now a Sizzix Big Shot Pro. The possibilities with this incredible machine are endless, so don't be afraid to get creative and experiment with various materials and techniques. Are you interested in more techniques to maximize the use of your die cutting machine? If so, tell me in the comments below. If you enjoyed this tutorial, give it a thumbs up, subscribe for more crafting content, and hit that notification bell so you never miss a video. Until next time, now go create what's possible.